Do you want to know how you can easily improve your SEO and rank higher on Google? This tutorial will show you how you can use Google Search Console and Keywords Everywhere together to help you do just that. So let's get started. The data in Google Search Console can give you very valuable insight and help you decide on what you can do to optimize your site for SEO and rank your site higher. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can best use and read the queries report in Google Search Console, and also how you can apply the Keywords Everywhere data on top of that queries report to help you make the most informed decision and build out a very robust SEO strategy to not only rank your site higher, but also drive the most search traffic to your website. All right, so the process is very simple, very easy. So to start, what you need to do is go to your Google Search Console and click on the Performance tab. And next, you need to click on Average Position. Now, when you scroll down, you can see the queries report, right? So this is where we will be focusing on for today's video. And these are the top queries that not only is your website ranking for, but also have impressions, okay? So you can see the impressions here, the clicks that each query has received, and also the average position. Now, when analyzing this report, I like to only look at the queries that are ranking on the first page or second page of Google, right? So to see those, you need to click on this icon, click on Position, click on this drop-down, and click on Smaller Than, and you want to type in 20, okay? Now, Google will show us the queries that are either ranking on the first page or second page of Google. Now, when you click on the Impressions column, you can sort by impressions. So this is what I would look at, okay? So I would look at these queries here and see which ones make sense for me to optimize the pages so that these queries can rank higher, right? Because they already have quite high impressions and their positions are not too bad. So these queries have some potential, right? I can capture some of the search traffic, right? And increase my website traffic and grow my business. Now, looking at this data only gives me half the story though, because yes, I have impression data, but I don't know the actual search volume. Okay, so even though the impressions might be high, the search volume, I don't know if the search volume is high or low, right? So that's where Keywords Everywhere comes into play. So it will boost this table and give you so much more information to help you make the best decision, right, to optimize your website. So to get access to additional data from Keywords Everywhere, you need to have the Keywords Everywhere extension installed on your browser. So I have it installed already, and what I'm going to do is turn it on, and I'm going to refresh this table. And when I refresh, now Keywords Everywhere data is applied on top of this report. Okay, so this makes this report so much more valuable and so much more helpful and makes you make a much more informed decision than before. Okay, so I'm going to go again and only look at the queries that are ranking on the first page or second page of Google. All right, so now we are where we left off, right? So you can see that these first two queries here, they have very high search volume, both at 2,400. They have quite high impressions, and they both are ranking on the second page. So these two queries are very good ones that I can potentially optimize the pages for so that these two can rank on the first page of Google so we can capture some of that search traffic, right? Now that I also have the cost per click data and the competition data, I can make a more informed decision on possibly deciding on if I want to run Google ads for these search queries. And we can also see the trend data, Okay, so now we can see the search volume over the past 12 months. So now I can decide on what part of the year I should be working on these queries, trying to increase the rankings so that my website is ranking as high as possible during the seasons of the year where they are most trending. All right. Now, the Keywords Everywhere data can also help you make informed decisions in terms of the impressions that are very similar, the queries that have very similar impressions. So for example, if I scroll down and take a look at these two queries right here, right? So how a diffuser works has 490 impressions, and how do oil diffusers work has 337 impressions. So the impressions are relatively similar, right? And the position, one is ranking on the first page, and then the second one is ranking on the second page, right? So looking at this, I may make the decision that, okay, maybe how a diffuser works could be that query that I should be focusing on. But now that I have the Keywords Everywhere data applied to it, I can see that, hey, how do oil diffusers work actually has higher search volume, right? It has higher search volume. So maybe I should put more of my effort towards this query because it has higher search volume. That way I can capture more of that search traffic to my site. All right, so we can even go down here. Another very good example are these next two. How do ultrasonic diffusers work has impressions of 278, and how do oil diffusers work has impressions of 210, and they both rank on the second page of Google, but this one, how does oil diffuser work, actually has much higher search volume than how do ultrasonic diffusers work, right? So because of Keywords Everywhere data, I can make a much more smarter, informed decision and focus on the keywords that are the most valuable to me in terms of a search volume perspective, right? So that's where the beauty of combining Google Search Console with Keywords Everywhere data together. And this makes your analysis so much more easier. Now, when we go through this, say for example, you want to save these queries, you can click on the star icons and it will save it to your Keywords Everywhere account. All right, so you can click on the extension and click on My Favorite Keywords. Now, all of the queries that you have starred will show in this chart right here, and then you can export it and you can analyze it at a later date. And let's go back to Google Search Console, and you can add all of these keywords. Okay, so you can see all the stars are yellow. And then if you go back to Keywords Everywhere and refresh the table, you can see all of the queries right here. So very, very easy. You can export it and analyze it. And then you can also export this data as well, okay, as a CSV. So that CSV will look something like this. So you can see all of the queries with search volume, cost per click, competition, and the trend split out per month. Okay, so very valuable information, and this will basically tell you which ones are the most valuable to you in terms of maybe a search volume perspective or a Google Ads perspective or maybe a trends perspective, right? So you can decide on what part of the year you should focus on optimizing these keywords, right? So having Google Search Console and Keywords Everywhere married together will help you make the best informed decision as possible. So hopefully you got some value out of this, and we will see you in the next video. All right, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and if you want to learn more about Keywords Everywhere, feel free to click any of the videos on the screen. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.